There is a quiet friction in the very act of becoming, a process that almost never begins in the light. It's a strange thing. You can know exactly what you need to do. The path forward can be perfectly clear. The task itself, well-defined. And yet, there's always a part of the mind that pulls back toward what's familiar, what's comfortable. And that resistance, it's just this silent, heavy, frustrating weight. So this internal friction, really, it's a conflict that seems to define so much of our experience, doesn't it? It's like the quiet, constant backdrop to any kind of meaningful change we try to make. And that space, that gap between what you intend to do and what you actually do, it's so easy to see it as a failure, but it's not. It's simply the arena. It's where the change actually happens. It's this quiet, internal negotiation between the person you are right now and the person you're trying to become. And the call for effort, it's always there. But so is the pull, the gravity of just taking it easy. So maybe the answer isn't to try and avoid this friction. Maybe it's about understanding the environment that it creates. And this is what brings us to this idea of growth in the dark. Think about the lotus flower for a second. We see it as this symbol of profound transformation. But its journey doesn't start in some beautiful, pristine garden. No, its life begins somewhere else entirely. It begins where it can't even be seen. It starts down in the mud, in the dark, a place where things are definitely not easy. See, for the lotus, the struggle isn't some obstacle to its growth, it's the necessary condition for it. That dark, murky water, that's the very medium it has to rise through. That's the beginning of everything. And in a way, this is the wisdom of the seed. There's a Japanese concept for this, Nintai. It's this quiet endurance. The seed doesn't panic down there in the dark. It doesn't fight against the mud, it just endures. Now, this isn't about gritting your teeth and powering through. It's something different. It's an acceptance of that initial hardship without needing it to feel good or easy. It's the first stage, just a patient presence right in the middle of difficult circumstances.
But this quiet endurance, it's not just a state of mind. It's something that finds its expression in our physical selves, in the body's own resolve.
There's an old story about a warrior monk. His name was Benkei. And this was a man who he was defined by his incredible physical power and his pride. And one day, on a bridge, he challenged a much smaller, quieter warrior. And for the very first time in his entire life, he was defeated. And in that single moment of defeat, something inside him just shifted. He could have chosen bitterness, but instead he chose loyalty. He pledged himself to the very man who had bested him, and his entire life found a new purpose, a new direction. So you see, the loss wasn't an end, it was an initiation. So through these long journeys and really brutal hardships, the hunger, the freezing nights, the constant pain of battle, all of it, it was no longer something to be avoided. It became the very substance of his transformation. He learned to see discomfort not as the enemy, but as the medium for his own growth. And what Benkei learned to embody is this concept known as shisei. It's this idea that the way you carry your body, the way you stand, the way you breathe, the way you move, it isn't just a result of your inner state, it can actually be the cause of it. A body that's carried with purpose, even when you're feeling fear or total exhaustion, can actually instruct the mind to follow suit. It's taking your intention and making it physical. Okay, so as this journey continues, as that quiet endurance starts to become part of the body, something new emerges, a new capacity. And that's the capacity for reflection while you're still on the rise. Going back to our lotus, this is its middle passage. It's rising through that murky water. Now, progress has clearly been made, but the origin, that mud, that difficulty, is still all around it. You can see the light up at the surface, but the climb isn't over. It's a moment where the past and the future, they kind of coexist. And there's a name for this kind of self-reflection too. It's called kansho. And it's not about pride, it's not about patting yourself on the back. It's a clear, quiet acknowledgement of what you've endured. Just looking back for a moment and seeing the path you've already carved through the mud, that simple act reinforces your strength to keep going toward the light. It's like providing proof to yourself that yes, this progress is real. And so, after enduring the dark, after reflecting on the rise, the whole process finally reaches its culmination, and that is the blooming of identity. Now this bloom, it's not some sudden magical event. It's not a finish line you cross. The beauty of that flower is actually an expression of its entire history, all of it.
The endurance down in the dark, that purposeful rise, the reflection it did while still in the murky water, it's all there.
This is the point of, well, transcendence, where the hard path, after you've walked it consistently for so long, ceases to feel so hard. It just becomes the path. Discipline is no longer this thing you do. It's become a part of who you are. The struggle isn't just overcome anymore. It's transformed into purpose, into meaning.
And what's fascinating is that this transformation isn't just a metaphor. It's actually physical. There's a process scientists call neuroplasticity, where sustained effort literally carves new pathways in your brain. So your identity isn't just a thought, it becomes physically encoded. The person you are is quite literally remade by the journey you choose to walk.
It's a very quiet but profound truth, isn't it? The version of yourself that has real strength, real resolve. It's not waiting for you somewhere comfortable. It's not something you find. It's something you construct, moment by moment, right in the face of that resistance.
And maybe the final realization in all of this is that the hardship was never the thing to escape from. It was the soil, the whole point. The incredible beauty of the bloom, it doesn't erase the darkness of where it came from. It validates it. It's proof, a testament to the profound potential that is always lying dormant, just waiting inside the difficult.